Hey everybody, welcome to Compliance with Kutsai and my latest video. I'm super excited to be here and talking to you about more interview questions, and specifically the question around what is your biggest weakness? How awkward is that question? It's about tell me something negative about yourself that might make me not want to hire you. That's kind of the connotation that that has. So everybody really struggles with this answer. And I promise you, if I have to hear the answer, I am a perfectionist, and that is my biggest weakness. One more time, I'm going to pull my hair out. Yes, it's short, but I will pull my short hair out. So let's go through a couple of questions that are a lot more thoughtful, a lot more creative, and shows that you are thinking about giving a credible answer. You aren't just regurgitating something that you think the hiring manager wants to hear. It's a negative response, as the question requires, but it's not one that's going to count you out. And it's going to at least be non-detrimental to you being able to get the job. So I'm going to give you a couple of answers that I think you can use and personalize to your benefit. But before we jump into the answers, as always, I would just like to say thank you to all the new subscribers. I'm really excited that you're here. And also, and I always forget to do this, and today I'm not going to forget, shout out to all of my day ones who have been with me, liking the videos, supporting the channel from, since forever. I really do appreciate you. So even though I'm always giving a shout out to the new subscribers, please know that you are not forgotten. You are very much near and dear to my heart, not my house, heart. And I'm looking forward to creating more great content for you guys. So if you are watching this video and you've been watching my videos, because the viewership numbers versus the subscriber numbers are not balancing. So if you've been watching these videos and you've been getting some value from these videos, I do ask that you please subscribe to the channel. It would be really great. We are working towards a goal of 10,000 subscribers. We are not that far. We're almost there, and it's just a milestone that I'm really looking forward to achieving. So please do support the channel and subscribe, and of course, more great videos coming up for you. Okay, let's jump straight into it then. So the first answer that I want us to go through talks to a negative quality, but I'm going to try and spin it for you to make sure that it comes out not so negative. And that quality is about being impatient. So you can answer the question and say that sometimes I can be a little bit impatient because I tend to figure things out fairly quickly. That's just how my mind works. And I get a little bit impatient with those who take a little bit of extra time to kind of get to the understanding or the crux of the matter, or when we are in discussions and we spend too much time, working through a problem instead of jumping straight to, well, not jumping straight through, understanding the problem, but getting to starting to work on a solution, and we like kind of talk through the problem endlessly. So that causes me to be a little bit impatient. But I am learning to be more appreciative of different thinking styles, different ways of concluding. Just because some people are fast doesn't mean that, someone taking their time to get to where they need to go is necessarily a bad thing. Diversity of thinking is always great. And I use my skill to kind of help, or of working through things swiftly, to help other people kind of move things along as well. So I've decided to use my impatience for, helping things to progress instead of just sitting in that frustration. So that is a negative quality that I have. It is a weakness, but I'm learning to be more patient with everybody and use my patience constructively rather than destructively. Okay. The good thing about that answer is that it is also a very relatable kind of answer. I'm sure the hiring manager or HR person has had moments where they're feeling impatient in a meeting or in a situation where they're like, guys, we need to move on to the next thing. We've got 30 minutes, an hour for this meeting. So it's a relatable and relevant weakness to have, but it's also not something that's going to be detrimental to your chances to getting the job. Okay. So the next thing that I want to highlight about as a quality that you can talk to is around letting go, right? So this is you expressing your need to kind of hold on to things rather than to release them. Again, not a great quality to have, but something that you can spin in a way that is going to help you not look terrible in a job interview. So you can say something to the effect that you really hold on to, you enjoy working on projects and you like to see them to the end and really see the outcome and how it comes to life, whether it's a business product that's being released. But sometimes, obviously, because of different situations, you may have to hand that over to a different colleague for their input, for their assessment, or so that you can take on a new project. And sometimes it's a struggle to let go of a project, especially if it's something that you were really into and feeling passionate about. And you can sometimes tend to poke your nose back into things that you should be releasing. So now you're learning to release projects to the next person, trusting that they have the capacity to finish it and let it go and move on to the next thing. So again, it's showing that you're an individual who enjoys their work, feels passionately about their work. Yes, it's a negative quality when you want to hold on to things that you should be letting go of. But again, you're acknowledging that as something that is a weakness and how you are then turning that around and saying it's something that you've been working on, you're releasing it, you're trusting your colleagues to do what needs to be done, and you're able to focus 100% on the next thing that has been assigned to you. So again, an interesting take on a weakness that is not your typical, oh, I'm a perfectionist, a weakness that's not really a weakness, to be honest. So think about that answer and use it, don't use it. These are all suggestions that you can personalize for your own interview experience. So the last thing, one more example that I want to share with you about something that you can use other than being a perfectionist to describe a weakness is that and it's also I think it's a good one, because also it is almost a message to the hiring manager about your preference in terms of leadership style and how you will thrive in the environment that you're positioning as a weakness. So a little bit naughty, you might have to be a bit brave to use this example. But you can say something like, one of my weaknesses is that I have a very specific preference around the management style that I like to work with and thrive under, which can sometimes limit me if I find myself in a situation where I have a different type of management style. So I really prefer to work with a boss, a manager who trusts in me to do what I need to do and has an open door policy and knows that if I need their guidance or support, that I will come to them, or if I need validation or something to be checked, trusting me enough to be responsible and, bring what needs to be brought to their attention. So I struggle to adapt to environments of a micromanaging style where a manager maybe needs to every second of every day report to me, tell me what you're doing, how you're doing it. But I'm also coming to appreciate that there are circumstances where that is needed. So if I am starting a new role and you still need to learn to trust me, I can understand that you're going to need to micromanage the situation to a point until you're comfortable that I am competent and skilled and able to deliver what you need to me to deliver. And hopefully thereafter that trust will create that, open door policy. But it is a struggle for me if I am being micromanaged to adapt to that. And I feel it makes me not thrive and be the best version of a employee as I could be. So that sort of answer is showing a weakness in terms of you have a preference and you thrive under certain environments. Again, very relatable. A lot of people don't like to be micromanaged and told what to do every second of the day, every inch of, execution of a project or something. So relatable content. But also it's kind of like a little message that my guy, my girl, my lady, my gent, if that is your style where you're going to be stomping on me at every turn, then maybe this is not a good fit. And if you don't get a job as a result of that response, and that truly is your preference in terms of management style, then you've just saved yourself a heck of a lot of future stress. So those three are the examples that I wanted to share with you that, like I said, much more creative, much more relatable, relevant to the work environment, shows your ability to have some sort of self-awareness about certain things, and that you've been thoughtful about it. But remember, whatever you do choose to say in terms of this is my weakness, never just leave it at this is my weakness, full stop. You always, and I mean in every situation, you should explain how you manage that weakness, how you're overcoming that weakness, or how you are turning that weakness into something that is helpful to the organization, so that the last thing that the manager hears is you're someone who has self-awareness, takes care of what needs to be, has weaknesses, is not perfect, but also has the ability to recognize those weaknesses and manage them. That's the most important thing. Okay. All right. I hope you found those examples helpful in terms of, how to answer that question. It is a question, like my previous video, I also talked about, how to ace the tell me about yourself questions. I think in every interview you will ever walk in, you're going to be faced with those two questions almost without a doubt. Tell me about yourself and tell me your weakness. And those are the two questions that always make people fumble and stutter and start to get extra nervous and lose their chain of thought because they're wondering if their answer was great and they're no longer listening to the interviewer and all that other drama. So make sure you watch that previous video and rewatch this one as many times as you need to, but always practice these questions, guys. Don't wait until you are in the room to figure it out, because watching this once is not going to cut it. And if you do want to get the compliance interview guide that I've produced with the top 20 questions, please go ahead and do that. You can get that at the online store. A link to the store will be in the description. And also, like I said, Compliance Bootcamp is coming up in June, facilitated by me, and I will be taking you through 4 weeks, 4 sessions, 25 people, talking in-depth compliance, everything you want to learn about risk assessment, risk identification, monitoring, testing, all sorts of different things. You can go to the website again for more information. It's going to be super interesting, super exciting, a great learning experience for those of you who are really serious about pursuing a career in compliance, but are struggling to get that in-depth knowledge that you need. So visit our website as well on the workshop page and sign up to join the waitlist, where we will be sharing a lot more information with you about that experience and what you can expect and how you can secure your seat, because it will be limited to 25 participants only. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of the week and more videos to come. Subscribe. Thank you. Bye.